Please introduce yourself, state your name and DOC number for the record.
Nathaniel Taylor, 122248.
Awesome.
All right, Mr. Taylor, my name is Freddie Kelsey, along with me is Ms. Jackson. Wise, Mr. Marabella, and Ms. Renata will be your parole panel. Go ahead and process to you, read some information to the record, have a hearing, ask you some questions. You can respond at the end. You can make a statement. We'll take a vote. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
You also have Mr. Andrew Hunley that'll speak in appropriate time. Sheridan Taylor will be speaking. Lolita Taylor will be speaking. You have Mariah Barra will be speaking. Romales Marrero will not be speaking. And then in opposition, we'll have Mr. Charles Marshall speaking at the appropriate time. Nathaniel Taylor, DOC number 122248, third class offender. Parole eligibility date 2/9/2013, good time date 9/24/2061, good time date, full term date 3/7/2062, 69-year, 4-month sentence. Now, correct?
Yes, sir.
Purse snatching, simple burglary, habitual offender law, attempted aggravated escape, type 2, armed robbery, 7 counts, attempted first degree murder, attempted second degree murder, habitual offender. Does that sound correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, please answer Ms. Wise' question.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's it going?
Okay.
Good. Tell us how long you've been in jail.
Since February 9th, 1993,
So how long has that been?
close to 30 years.
Okay. And how old are you today?
55.
So of your 55 years, how long you think you spent in jail?
Ooh, over half of my life. Over half of my life.
Yeah.
About
Okay.
2/3 of my life.
Yeah. So you said so 30 years on this time, and then how much other time you did?
Juvenile facilities and in DCI facility.
Yeah. So what was going on with you?
Drugs, drug addict. You know,
Did you sell
rebellion.
drugs?
Used them.
At what age you started using drugs?
Real young, about 8 or 9 years old. Started
Who turned
smoking
you on to
cigarettes.
drugs? Right. Who did that?
Well, really, it was a part of me that kind of like, my mother passed away when I was like 5 years old, and
Okay.
she had
Sorry,
4
I'm so
girls.
sorry.
She had
Sorry.
4 girls before she had me, so I was kind of like the apple of her eye. And when she passed away, it was just like, you know, everything just went out the window with her, you know.
Okay. Have you ever had any grief counseling?
No, ma'am.
So where's your family now?
I have some in New Orleans. My wife is in Georgia. I have a sister in Florida and one in Tennessee, a cousin in Tennessee. That's
Y'all,
them.
I'm good. Y'all in good contact with each other.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm glad to hear that. So you applied for ICOX to Georgia, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the status of that? What do you understand is the status of that?
Well, from what I've been told, it's still pending.
Okay.
That's what I was told. The first time it got messed up because it was a misunderstanding between the parole officer that went out to my wife's house in the middle of the night and woke her up. And, you know, she's profoundly deaf. They wouldn't even come inside and speak with her. They had made her talk to them through the screen door on the porch. And it was all kind of misunderstanding. And I explained that to the people up here, and they reapplied it or resubmitted it. And from what I understand from the administration up here, it's still pending right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw one that was declined in October of 22.
Right. That's
Yeah.
the one. Yeah.
That's the one. Okay, well, good. So it's still pending. That's okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've had 84 write-ups in 29 years. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when did you change? When did the change come?
I think the change came when I died. You know, I mean, my last time getting high, you know, I mean, it took my life literally. You know, I mean, I didn't have a heartbeat.
When are you
You know,
talking about? When was it?
2017, 2017, November the 11th. You know, I remember that day like it was yesterday. You know, and I think that was the turning point in my life right there. I think that was the turning point, Ms. Wise.
You had no idea what you were taking, did you? When you had
Nope.
some idea,
I,
you had no
I,
assurance that it was what they said it was, huh?
it wasn't what they said it was.
Okay. Okay. It takes as long as it takes. So what kind of drug treatment programs have you had since 2017?
I beg your pardon?
Have you had any treatment programs since 2017? Now, I read some said that you were 5 years sober. So now
Right.
so have you
Well,
had any AA
I
meetings?
I sat in some of the meetings as an advisor because I like telling my story to see if it could help anyone else. But at Camp F where I'm at, there is no in AA substance abuse programs available. There's no meetings back there.
Okay, well, you were a NA facilitator for a while, right? Where was it at?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Where were you at then when you were a
I was
facilitator?
in the main prison.
Oh, okay, okay. So are you still walking out the principles?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And you've been a Class A trustee since 2020, is that
Yes, ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how many hearings has this been for you?
This the third.
The third hearing, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You 3 times, huh?
Well, the first time
ahead.
they granted the parole, but at the last minute before they signed off on it, they realized that I wasn't supposed to be in front of a 3-panel board and a 5-panel board. So they took it back.
Oh,
So that was the
okay.
first time. The second time when I appeared before the 5-panel board in 2019, I was denied.
Oh, okay, okay. Doesn't look like that. Now, so you were saying that you were a drug addict, and that is where all of this came from, because of your drug. Your assault, the attempted escape, assault on the officer, all of that was, what was that? I don't want to speak for you. What was that? Who were you? Who was you then?
I wasn't myself. I wasn't myself. You know, I grew up in a household where my daddy was a preacher, and you know, I kind of like rebelled against that because it was kind of like I felt like it was forced on me. But as I got older, I realized that it stuck with me. You know, it didn't just go in one ear and come out the other ear. And as I got older, I started applying those principles, and it started making a difference in my life.
And you don't have a good supervision record. You didn't do well when you was on supervision.
Yeah,
Rebel, that's correct, right? You just rebelled.
I'm aware of that, Mr. Wise,
So what's
but I was young and dumb. You know, there's no other way to put it. I was young and dumb.
Okay. So if you're successful today, tell me what your plans are.
Well, I have a wife now, and we plan on buying a house. I have my children. My children are grown, but I have grandkids that are an active part of my life, and I would like to be an active part of their life.
Children, the record said you have one. How many children?
I have one child, but I have one through marriage, and I
Okay.
have a couple of grandkids that's active in my life, and I would like to kind of like lead them in the right path and bestow some of the wisdom on them that I didn't accumulate over the years of being in this place.
But how are you going to support yourself?
I have a job offer, or several job offers, and by me being a cook, I feel like that's a valuable asset to any community. I'm trained as a cook and as a baker. I finished culinary art school here in the prison, and that's what I do right now in the prison. I'm the head cook at Camp F, cook for the warden and all those people, and I also have job offers offshore as to be the cook. So I feel like there's plenty of opportunity for me to not only support myself, but to make sure that my wife is supported as well. You know, and she's behind me 100%.
Let me stop you. That's what was throwing me off too. You had a residence plan in Georgia, that you had offshore cooking as your employment. So, but you have offers in Georgia if you're successful to go to Georgia.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Do you have cooking jobs there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How many victims do you think you have?
Excuse me?
How many victims do you have?
I'm unaware of the victims count, but if I was standing before them right now, I would, embrace them and ask for their forgiveness and ask them if we could come together and try to, prevent any more victims, not just from their standpoint, but from my standpoint as well. And if we could, just prevent one person from being another victim, well, then we made it a safer place, I feel. And that's one of my goals also, once upon my release.
Well, would you tell them you're sorry?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Most certainly. That would be the first thing that come out of my lips.
Well, you didn't say that. Didn't say that.
Yeah. I said that at first, Ms. Wise.
Oh, you did? Okay, I
Yes,
missed
ma'am.
it. Okay, I'm gonna give you that.
I said I would embrace them and say that I'm sorry.
Okay. The records show that you have 11 victims. Official PNP reached out to. They were able to contact 7 of your victims. You have 11. They were able to contact 7 of your victims, and 3 of them is opposed, and 1 is unopposed, and the other 3 had no comments. And that's all they were able to reach. The others they couldn't even reach. So I just wanted to put that on the record so that just so you'll be aware of it. And the records I have show that you do have a good institutional record. So you did settle in since 2017, after that experience you had. And made trustee in 2020. So that speaks volumes. I just want to sit back and hear what everybody else got to say. That's next Ward. What do you want to tell us, Ward?
I can tell you that he has a low Tiger score. He did complete. I do see where he did 12 steps Narcotics Anonymous on October 24th, 2018. That was after his incident in 2017. He's a minimum A, and he works in culinary. And that's about it, I can tell you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I see we also have Mr. Keith Nordyke showed up. We'll apologize for that. We'll let you speak at the appropriate time as well. We'll hear from Mr. Andrew Hundley.
Andrew Hundley, Louisiana Parole Project, appearing before the board today to confirm that if Mr. Taylor is granted release, we will provide reentry support to him. We stood behind Mr. Taylor at his parole hearing a few years ago. As I recall, the board at that time told him he needed more time without a write-up and to continue to better himself. And he's done exactly what the board asked him to do at his last parole hearing. As it said, has gotten no more write-ups, has gotten more programming, and is now a Class A trustee living at Camp F. We do believe that his culinary skills will provide him with a good reentry opportunities of getting and maintaining jobs. We have communicated with his wife in Georgia. She does intend on him to live with her. We can confirm, from her side that she told us that she did not understand what the parole officers were saying, and we're hoping that There's more communication with Georgia P&P being aware of what the breakdown in communication was before that ICOTS to Georgia would be approved, hopefully in the near future. We would state that, it would be our plan for Mr. Taylor to go through our reentry program and then go directly to his approved ICOTS address in Georgia. But we are happy to work with the board to modify that plan for whatever you see fit. Long story short, Parole Project is happy to provide our reentry support to Mr. Taylor, and we believe that he's a good candidate for parole today. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We'll hear from Ms. Sheridan Taylor now.
Let's say next thing. You said what she said.
I didn't know that
profoundly
she's
deaf.
profoundly deaf.
And she
I'm
has to read
profoundly
that.
deaf.
Okay,
I wanted to speak on when the Asian came out. It was a misunderstanding because I didn't hear what was being said. So if you all would let them know, to let me know when they coming, I could be prepared for 'em. And I'll accept what they at my address.
all right, thank you. Thank
Mhm.
you. Ms. Lolita Taylor.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lolita Taylor. I'm here on behalf of Support for Dane Taylor, which is my brother. And anything that I can do to support him and keep him on the straight track, I will do everything that's possible in anything that I can do. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comment. Now we'll hear from Mr. Charles Marshall. Okay, go
Yes,
ahead,
sir.
Mr. Marshall.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
Okay, go ahead and make your statement.
Well, I'm one of the victims, and thus far I've heard nothing or anything from anybody. Unfortunately, it's hard to be able to forget when you're robbed and shot at, and so consequently, I don't have a problem with trying to forget, but as far as forgiving, I really haven't done that, to be honest with you. So I'm actually opposed to where we are today, and that's my statement.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Nathaniel, would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
I would like to say that if given the opportunity to be released from prison, that one of my main goals would be to seek forgiveness, to try to make amends to the people that I've harmed. Whether it be helping someone else or helping them directly, I think would be a great feat and a great accomplishment. As far as, me going back down the path that I used to go down, I don't think anyone has that to fear of me any longer. As far as me using drugs again, I don't think that anyone has the fear of me using drugs again. I really, to be actually honest with you, I'm afraid to get high because it might kill me next time again. But I just want a chance to try to make the world a better and brighter place. I want to do my part, for the community, help to raise my grandkids because I didn't get a chance to raise my kids, and just try to make myself a better person in the world.
All right, thank you so much. We're for Mr. Keith Nordyke. I'd like to wrap us up.
Thank you. I didn't hear the first part of the testimony, so I have no idea what transpired before I was allowed in. But I can say this, I have represented Othaniel now all 3 of his hearings, and he has improved every single time. The last hearing, Warden Vinoy took to heart what the board told him, which was that Othaniel needed to make trustee. And within a few months after that, Othaniel made trustee. And not only that, he earned his way to Camp F, which is not a place that you get to just by being a trustee. So he not only earned trustee, he went to Camp F. He's age 55. He has got a low Tiger risk score. He is past the age of recidivism. He's had all the major courses that you need. And since his episode in 2017, he's done Narcotics Anonymous. He's also had Living in Balance, prefatory to that. Can't get it out of my mouth. So I would ask the board to allow him parole to the parole project and then on to Georgia. One last comment. I've known and dealt with Ms. Sheridan Taylor since, for 10 years, and she is profoundly deaf. Every time I've had to deal with conversations with her, we've had to have somebody on the other end with her to take what I said, write it down for her to read, and then she would get it back to me. It's no surprise to me that if the Georgia people came out there without notice, unannounced, and tried to talk to her, they got nothing because she can't do it without some help on the side. So I would ask for parole for Othaniel under whatever conditions the board may seem fit. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Can I prepare to vote, Ms. Wise?
Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Taylor, it's a hard decision for me. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think you are capable, but I just don't know sure if you will. That's the key. You're capable now. I think you learned. You got scared straight. And I don't know how effective that is. But I'm inclined to take a chance on you because of your transition plan to the Louisiana Parole Project. Hopefully by then, your residence plan to Georgia, and it's to Georgia only for me. That if you accept it in Georgia, and that I want you to enroll in marital counseling and follow AANA at least 3 times a week and get a sponsor. Best wishes to you, sir.
Ms. Jackie, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Taylor, likewise, I'm willing to take a chance on you. You made trustee, a Class A trustee. There was positive work evaluation. You did complete additional programs, central last denial. And not had any other write-up since that denial. For the full project as a family and below risk assessment. So my vote would be to grant to the parole project, then to the Georgia icons.
Thank you, Mayor Bell.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Mr. Taylor, you know, this is a troubling case for me as well. You know, a lot of times they say in substance abuse, you got to hit rock bottom. For 2017, that's got to be your rock bottom. Saying you died or you almost died, that's certainly an eye-opening experience. But it doesn't end there. It's a disease. It's something that you need to continue to fight for and fight with. It sounds like you've done a lot since then. You've done your AA, you've done those things, you've got the tools, you've got a good plan, a good transition plan. And my vote likewise would be to grant a condition on your ICOTS to Georgia. That would be the only, I think, condition that I would put on that. So good luck to you.
Ms. Renaud.
Mr. Taylor, I think you had a good interview today. I'm really pleased that you took to heart what was told to you at the last hearing. You've done well since the last hearing, so my vote today too also is to grant to the parole project transition plan and then to the state of Georgia. You have a low risk score, you've been sober 5 years, the transition plan is really good.
I would add, in addition to what Ms. Wise has said for special conditions, I would add that you have no contact with victims. Good luck.
Thank you.
Before votes to grant your parole, also I'm gonna vote to grant your parole for the same reasons as stated. It's a parole project, then you're gonna go to, you'll go to Georgia only for me. And then you'll have marriage counseling, NAA 3 times a week, a curfew from 9 p to 6 a. And you'll have no contact with the victim's family. You understand, stipulations? You'll get a copy of all that. You understand
Yes,
stipulations?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Five votes to grant your parole being granted. Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, what do you think? On one hand, it's
And we'll adjourn at Angola 11:28.
Thank
one
you.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Have a blessed.
on one hand, it's beautiful to see the family celebrating. On the other hand, it's hard to put myself in the place of the victim. You have to feel the victim is feeling victimized again. He's alone in that room with the whole board and the other family that's celebrating. You might say the antics of the younger boy is inappropriate, but I feel like he must be too young to understand. And the rest of the family, I think, behaved, appropriately. I also don't know if they see the victim on their screen, right? If you don't see him, you can forget he's there. But love to hear your thoughts.